Welcome, YouTuber Knights. I'm your Captain Rocket here, and I'd like to officially welcome you to my review, or kind of a view on Warframe. Now, this review is based on Playroom, so I'm not going to have a lot of time. I've already recorded everything. Now I'm just adding my voice into it, and I hope you guys enjoy, my little bit of view on Warframe. So without further ado, depending on whenever I decide to press X, I'll give you guys my basis on it. I'm adding, like I said, I'm using Playroom, so, there we go. Basically, Warframe is a free-to-play game, and a free-to-play MMO set in a universe where you are basically a space robo-ninja cop. You play with other people online, and once again, I have to iterate this, it's a free-to-play game. A lot of stuff, there's a lot of stuff to this game. It's got its faults, it's got its good parts. It's generally a good game. I have no hatred of it. What you're looking at right now is me just going around and just looking at various things to show you guys just the gist of what you're gonna start. And this is basically your central hub. It's like your base, and what you're looking at right now is your star system. There is I forgot how many planets there are, but there is a lot of planets that you could go on, and each planet has a mission node, and those mission nodes are are basically the missions that you play in the game. It's with these things that you grind and you find stuff. You get loot. You get a lot of you get loot. You fight bosses. Excuse me. But sorry, I'm a little sick. But yeah, you basically go around here. Got your planet. Go around, kill bad guys. Yada yada yada. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. The game does have its little bit. It has a little bit of repetitism in it. But the repetitism, depending on those who play it, it makes it, you can either make it fun or you don't have to really do that. It's really up to you. It's your choice. But me, I always seem to find a way to make it fun for me at the very least, because I love Warframe. I really do love Warframe. The people that made the game, I believe, are called Digital Extremes, and DE for short. And these guys are constantly putting this game with updates and stuff.
Operator,
and it's just fun. What you see right there is your little pal Ortis. He's basically the ship's AI, kind of. And as I'm taking you to this tour, I will now like to show you the codex, which you could use to find various information about things that you scan across the system, and missions that you partake in, because everything you see there were missions, and then you have stuff like weapons. If you get weapons, you'll have their codex and stuff like that, and then there's like a whole bunch of information that you have to scan and stuff. And right now what we have over here is the market. Don't mind that. That's a sentinel, but the market is basically where you go to buy your weapons, your warframes, and any kind of cosmetics you use. Keep in mind that everything in here will cost either credits or platinum, or a little bit of both. Some things here you can capture the blueprint for, and the blueprints will cost you platinum. Some things will cost you. Platinum is made with real money. Credits you can get in the game. You can get platinum in the game. You can get platinum in the game too, but you got to trade for that. Now I'm really rambling here, but I'm trying to hurry as fast as I can. What you see right there is your armory. The armory is where you build your stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. In the game, it takes a while, a long while for your stuff to grow. But more on that later. Right now, what you have is your modification system, which you use to modify your modifications, which you apply to your warframe and weapons to give you specific traits, like make more damage, add an elemental. That right there is a pet. That right there is what you use for your pet Kubros or Kavats. And that little guy right there is a sentinel. He's basically the same thing. Helps you out in the field. Same thing with the pets. The Kavats, they help you out in the field. But I'll show you more later. But right now, where we're at, the most important part, the arsenal. The arsenal is where you are to equip your warframes and theweapons. There are a ton of warframes in this game. I forgot how many there was exactly, but I know there's a lot. And then there's prime variants for almost every not almost every. There's prime variants for a lot of the warframes in the game. Some of them have been vaulted, meaning that you won't be able to get them back until DE decides to release them. But other than that, not really. What you got right there is your primary weapons. Like I said, there's a lot of weapons. So you're never short on weapons, and whichever one tickles your fancy, you can pick that weapon. It's going to be, and it's going, enjoy yourself with that weapon. And then you have your sidearms, pistols, even the kunai knives that ninjas throw, because once again, you're a ninja cop. And then it's like a whole, like pistols, even miniature shotguns, even grenade launchers. It's just a lot. I mean, it could be overwhelming to some people. Really. And then your melee weapons. There's a lot. There's a couple melee weapons too. Some of them kind of repeat each other, but there's basically sword and shield, staff, heavy sword, dual swords, axe, a hammer, and you know they're all there. They're all there. Once again, it's really up to you. Like I'm really sorry if I'm rambling. I'm really sorry if I sound off, but right now what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be taking you guys on a short little journey to a place called the Simulacrum, where I'm going to show you. It may not look like much, but the reason why is because I didn't really get a chance to record a lot of the gameplay. But I'm basically going to show you the gist, just a little bit, you know, tease you. Here we are at the Simulacrum. I'm about to generate us some enemies. The enemies in the game, if you scan the enemies, then you can get then you can be able to, you know, show a lot of them. I've got a couple enemies scanned here. We're just gonna put a couple on screen, put the levels there, and basically just give you guys a little bit of gameplay. It may not look like much, but that's because I'm using the Simulacrum, which is like a kind of like a testing chamber where you go to test out your weapons. And yes, you need to get the key to go into the Simulacrum. But other than that, there's not really much, you know. I mean, not that there's not really much, but you can come in here and test out your builds, test out your weapons that you've modified, test out your weapon modifications, and the way you modify your Warframe and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to put the levels a little bit there. And the reason why is because my Warframe is actually at a level, I believe, level 3 or level 0. I forgot. But he's nowhere near strong enough to take down all these guys. But basically there, look at that. Look at me. Well, the way I play is tanky, and you have to play the game tactical. If it doesn't look interesting to you, I really do apologize. When I stream Warframe, I promise you, it's going to feel a lot more interesting. I'm just giving you guys some base gameplay, slicing them up with heavy-ass weapons and shooting them. Look at that. Just going from a distance and taking them down. Just look at that. Just look at that. And I also would like to say that BE has done a really good job with the animation of the game. I really enjoyed the way the game looks. It looks better than most free-to-play games I've played in my entire life. And it appears that I'm all done with all the enemies that I have. Oh, that's a bummer. Well, you know, I'm going to be able to tell you guys more later, but what I was going to do was I was going to put in a clip of me fighting a Juggernaut, which is one of the enemies in the game that I can't beat on my own, at least when it's level 30. In fact, it's actually pretty difficult for me. And I was gonna create a series. I have not yet seen it on YouTube, and I hope I don't get copyrighted strike for it. But I was gonna create a series called, well, I'll tell you guys all about the series later. But I was gonna make a series where you guys give me builds and stuff like that, and I'll use them against the Juggernaut to see whether or not I can kill a level 30 Juggernaut. And if I don't kill this Juggernaut, please, I apologize. I mean, actually what happens is that you're going to see the Juggernaut actually falls off screen. He's going to try to fight me, but he's going to fall off screen. And you're going to see, like right there, I'm just, you know, messing around with it. And he falls off screen, and so do I. But he dies and I don't.